right, can you dig it? You know what I mean? Welcome back. Yes, we are here. We are here. We have returned. Thank you so much to my wild beasts of the Twitter spheres, my wonderful, wonderful cream soda bagels. I'm really glad that you have joined us here today on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday evening. I'm so glad that we can return with the Mallrats because I have missed very much so these four people very, very much so. And I'm so glad to see all your smiling, wonderful faces once more here on Sabotage the Dio. It's so lovely. Yes.
Yeah. We're back.
As usual, say hello on the chat if you are here. It's really lovely to see people. We see Stuart's here. We can see Red Panda Gamer's here. We can see, of course, Ganj Banzi's here. GP Daz is here. And of course, Dan Burman is here. So do say hi, pop it on the chat. Say yes, I'm here, and I'm looking forward to seeing this wonderful thing. And I am a cream soda bagel, and I really enjoy it. Please do. That'd be wonderful. Of course, Evie's here. Hi, Evie. How you doing?
Hi, yeah. Just snuck in there. I felt left out.
Present.
I'm here too.
So it has been an enormous amount of time since we've been back on here with Waterdeep Mallrats, because we've had so many other things on as well. So we've had the Arcane Ward we had on. I hope you enjoyed that. And of course, we had the TPKs on. We had the Rebel DMs on. And then we had this amazing session for the Hangover as well, which was fantastic. So I hope that you enjoyed all of that content. And if you did miss it, you can always pop over to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and then see and watch all of those things back if you wanted to. But yes, so we'll be placing new episodes of the Arcane Ward further along. We've got more TPKs coming along, which is also exciting. But you're going to have to keep your eyes open on our socials, so you better go and subscribe and follow and do all those other things. Otherwise, you won't know when they're on again. But we'll tell you anyway, because we like you. So this is a really lovely moment. I'm really looking forward to this. So, as you just received a plate, and this is the standard way of doing things. Evie James, how you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. I'm very... did you hear the knock at the door and see my face go? Did it look weird? Because it just came out of nowhere. From farm to plate.
It came from the Marble Arch Mound, that absolute not waste of £2 million.
On Tubby Hill.
Yeah. Tubby toast. Oh, tubby custard always looked really good, didn't it? I don't know what it tastes like though. It was like pink goo, angel delight maybe, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm hungry. Apart from that, I've had a lovely time. I've been doing lots of random things because it's the summer, and that's always when I'm like, what am I going to do? All the random bits and bobs. Did some workshops. We shot a short horror film with some young adults yesterday and the day before, and that was really, really fun, even though it rained, but also it's horror, so it kind of worked, and it was great, and we all got really wet and cold, and it was lovely. So got that to edit. Apart from that, and I played some new games today. New board games. What was it called? Sparkle Kitty Night. I'm in.
Take my money.
Mate, so good. It's really good.
Sounds like a what 3 words address.
Yeah, right? Meet me
Along
there.
with cream soda bagel.
Yeah, cream soda
I really
bagel.
hope that is the place. I feel like it would be great if you went there.
We need
that
someone
was
to check it out.
Yeah, we should. Someone go on What 3 Words now and find out if Sparkle Kitty Nights is a thing. Yeah, it's great. It's such a good game. It's basically like a sort of naughty version of Uno, and you're playing in a team but you don't know who your teammates are. It's very good. Cool. And then we did I want to say I can never remember the names of these new games. The other one was Darkness Skies. I'm going to text someone and find out what it was, because that was sick, and I actually do want to recommend that to people. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? No one recognises it. Okay, great. No. It's really
Darkness Skies.
Basically, the concept, I'll find out the name in a sec, but the concept of it is that you're building the board as you go, and you have to make like a circuit board, and it literally has like little connectors and stuff, and you need to build launch pads and various other things, as well as avoiding the weather and the storms. And then if you manage to do it and you manage to build a launch pad and no one's dead, then you get the little rocket in place and you connect all of the things. And if you connect all of the things and each player is next to the rocket launch pad, you win. And as it connects, the rocket lights up and goes 3, 2, 1. It's so good. We actually didn't manage to do that though because we died. One of us died. But we've been playing for like an hour and a half, and we were like, oh, we all really want to see what happens though. So we just, yeah, it's really good. I'm gonna find out the name for you now.
Yes,
everyone.
please.
Yeah.
Other important questions. What's for dinner?
Oh, this is a vegan beef stir fry with broccoli, peppers, and mange too, and some rice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
For my dinner.
That sounds absolutely delightful.
I'll mute myself and start munching.
Okay.
Save you all the ASMR.
Yeah, we'll do all the noises as you're on mute. And that's actually, I'll take the cue from the last sound I heard. So, Dan, how are you, my friend?
Hiya, how's it going? I'm doing well. Not the first time that farting has shunted me to the front of a queue, but that is another story for another day. I played the live version of Evie's game. I was actually in a field at a festival with Mr. Rob Thompson. Got to do some in real life immersive work. Thank you, Rob, for getting me the job last minute. And we had a hell of a time. And just as we were finishing the last 10 minutes of our final shift, the heavens opened, as did hell, and we had Jumanji-style deluge, which shut the entire festival down. Everything was under a lightning warning. We were told we had to evacuate out of the bowl. We were going up hills that had like ankle deep of water running past us the whole time. There was no rocket, unfortunately. Disappointed.
It's disappointing.
But essentially that means that we headline the festival. So you can shove your Craig David up your ass, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it was
from here though.
Yeah, poor guy. First Bow Selector and now this. It's just, it's terrible.
Well, I'm glad that you're safe, and I'm glad that everybody who went to the festival is safe as well.
Yeah,
really
there was.
It did show the difference between myself and Dan's character, though. That when disaster hit, Dan went into like survival mode and get everyone out into safety, and I sat in my tent and drank Guinness and waited for it to all blow over.
That's such a great way of describing the pair of you. That's so good.
although in fairness, Rob did have a use prior to the festival, which was to convince me to come without a sleeping bag.
You don't need
it. I heard this morning. I am severely disappointed in both of you.
You drink it up. You don't need warmth. You supply it yourself.
You guys, you are experienced.
I know. I tell you what, there was a part of it that was like I was genuinely like quite overwhelmed and panicky whilst packing for this festival, because I was like trying to do it in my house that was like 28 degrees, and I was going up into the attic that was about 48 degrees, and I was like trying to get all my stuff together last minute, and I was dripping with sweat, like going, oh God, have I remembered everything? And then Rob was like, I'm sure it's going to be this warm like the whole time, and I was like, oh yeah, like a warm house and a warm tent, they're essentially the same thing. So I literally, my little purple throw here that I have on here became my sheet and my quilt for the first 2 days, and I also didn't inflate my inflatable mattress very well, so part of me was touching the floor, so I was bloody Baltic for 2 of the days.
Well, again, I'm glad that you're safe, I'm glad that you're back, and I'm glad that you're now warmer.
I've learned a valuable lesson.
Mm-hmm. We all do it once. That I did it at Glastonbury once, and I only brought fabulous play clothes, and then I was like, oh my God, it's May, and then I was like, I never did that again, ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, as well.
As you're here, did you enjoy your first DMing experience?
Oh my God, it was so much fun. Yeah. It was so much fun. You guys were awesome players. I am also glad that I had my little epiphany about 3 hours before the session to like put in a few little additional things to actually make sure that you guys stayed on task. And to put in some consequences for you turning into absolute chaos monkeys, because all of them happened, all of them came to fruition, and frankly, I could have done more to mess with you. So I shall remember this for next time. But yeah, it was loads of fun. I've absolutely caught the bug. On Wednesday, I ran like another little battle with like a crazy copper dragon and a arena full of traps for a couple of people off stream. So yeah, absolutely caught the bug. And yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity, and thanks for you guys for being great players.
No worries. I'm sure that it was so much fun to play with everyone. So if you do want to go see that, of course, The Hangover dropped yesterday. So do you want to pop over to the YouTube? You can go and see it there and do the usual things and buttons and bells and subscribes and stuff. Sorry, Dan.
I was just going to say, like, one weird thing that I noticed, because I watched a bit of it back today when I was doing some social media posting, because, hi, Mama Thorpe! Mama Thorpe is here!
Yes.
Mama Thorpe is here! Mama Thorpe is here! Because my webcam is, like, so much higher than my laptop, like, I'm constantly looking downwards on the screen. So when I'm on the DM chair, it works, because it looks like I'm just peering over at the four of you. Like, because I've just constantly got my eyes on it. Because, oh, that's what you're gonna do, is it? Okay, yeah, make a con save. Make a con save. Really worked. I might keep it.
Good. So I'm gonna go over to, let's have a look. Oh, Mama Thorpe with the resub. Thank you very much, Mama Thorpe. Thank you very much. So Gabby, how are you doing? Because of course we've seen a bit of you. We saw a bit of Evie and we saw a bit of Dan. But I want to see, how have you been for the last few weeks?
Yeah, good, thanks. I completed Pokemon Shields, which was amazing.
Yes,
and out of the 400 Pokemon, I've got 323, I think. So I love it. That's what I've been doing every day.
Nice.
Yeah, I just love it. Like, genuinely have dreams about it, think about it before I go to sleep. Like, to have to do things during the day to be like, if you do this, you can go and play Pokemon Shield. Even if you do the game, I'm like, just go to the gym, then you come back to play Pokemon Shield. Like, just apply for that job, then you can come back. I love it. I love it so much.
Nice.
Yeah, that's me.
Gabby Mac. Got it.
And I've been to Lidl twice in last week. Other discount supermarkets are available.
So what's your favourite Pokemon that you can get from other discounted superstores?
Oh, well, I mean, the Pokemon in discount superstores are amazing. You get like Wadacon in the central aisle. You can get like Toolkitaria, also central aisle, and then you can get Little Peanuts. And OT mixes in oat milk, which is always good. They're like my essentials. That's why I go in.
Little peanut. Wicked. Well, good to have you back, my friend. It's good to see your smiling faces, so that's all cool. And then there's somebody that we literally haven't seen on the Twitter sphere for a very long time, Mr. Rob Thompson. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I, as Dan said, was in a field near Hartford at Standing Calling. That was a bit of crack. I saw Hot Chip, and more importantly, we saw Daddy Freyr, the Icelandic Eurovision entry. And not only did we see him, but Dan Burman went backstage with his artist pass and met him.
Nice.
Excellent work. I chose food over celebrity because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm the kind of guy that huddles in a tent with Guinness when the world starts to end. Another thing I did a remember way back when I did that weird kidnapping job for Land Rover?
Yes.
I think I spoke about it on stream. They asked me to come back in and do some voiceover for them. And so I did a whole like Land Rover voiceover ad in the style of Johnny Whizbang.
I was going to ask, it's Johnny Whizbang.
So I was going like, welcome to the Out, a luxury car service fresh to the market. And I had to like check with them beforehand. I was like, so this was the voice that I did on the gig. Do you still want it? And they're like, yeah, sure, go with it. I think they liked it, but there was a quote that I had to say during it, which was like, "Not gonna lie, I kind of felt like James Bond." And I said it like, "Not gonna lie, I kind of felt like James Bond." And I felt good that Rime of the Frost Maiden, Johnny Whizbang, has made it into the Land Rover voiceover.
I think it's the Land Rover family. I think is actually what it's kind of put down as. Yes. So good.
Oh my god! Yeah. I'm just imagining now, like, bring everyone in, bring in Red.
Yeah, exactly.
Drive a Land Rover.
But I'm really glad that you're here, that you've returned, and that you are well and wonderful, beautiful, and full of sunshine, like the sun beating upon your skin.
I get the evening sun through this window. It's glorious.
Just one more thing before we move on about that festival. I came back to hang out with these guys during Hot Chip, and I was literally like coming back to say goodbye to everyone to go, because I was like, I'm quite tired. Haven't slept because I've been freezing the last 2 days. I'm just going to go back to the tent. And I turn up and I'm literally about to hug people, and Hot Chip turn around and go, "Oh, this next one's a cover."
There's a cover.
Okay. Like, I'll hang around and see what they do. I wonder what it is they do. They only crack out Sabotage.
Yes, mate.
By Beastie Boys, and absolutely smashed it.
It was unbelievable, yeah. I didn't really, like, I thought Hot Chip songs, yeah, they're kind of cool. I wouldn't really, like, buy tickets to go see them. After seeing that gig, they are amazing live.
I think I've seen them about 4 or 5 times now. Like, they're absolutely incredible. I love Hot Chip so much.
But one thing I need to say to everyone, and this is important, is fuck Bastille. Fuck them. Fuck Bastille. They're shite. Less Bastille, please, in our lives.
Hey.
Oh, it may be the hill behind Evie, but that's the one I'm dying on.
Righty go. Good. Well, I'm glad that we've managed to talk cod shite for 21 minutes. This is because it's 21 minutes to go.
We're back!
We're back. However, I just want to quickly do before we move on. You may notice there's a few little bombs next to our little faces. Not that type of bombs. Don't worry about it. It's all safe. But these are our new symbols for inspiration or advantage. We're going to be changing the way in which we do these inspirations and advantage. So now you might notice that they now says Oshi Inspiration. These show you that they have an advantage that they can use, but they're only allowed one at a time. So if you do go and spend those points and they've already got one, sorry folks, you've just lost your points. So keep an eye on the screen. Keep an eye on what we've got going on, and top us up when you like. You'll see that I've got a white one over that way and another one over here. So the white one is for my disadvantage, and the normal one over here is for advantage for the DM. We've currently got them all on because we've all got points. We've all got one at the moment, but I think we're now going to start using it from now on. So see if they get this disappear. Go ahead and give them an advantage with your points. You also notice.
No, you go.
I also noticed that sort of GP Daz has already started this train. We've also got the Dragon's Den Pub Renovation Fund. So if you want to use your points in that shows us how far along the build project we'll have the pub ready for the opening night of the Dragon's Den. So that's also
in
another
2
one.
weeks' time.
It's always 2 weeks' time.
Ooh, 2 weeks.
Good. All right. So there's only one other thing to do. And that is to show you a small video, because we have received some new artwork from our wonderful artist, James Christie. So I want to show you a reveal of one of our characters. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you guys
Who's it gonna be?
in a little while.
Who's it gonna be?
Bye. Oh, Oshi. So we can. I knew that was coming. So as you can see, Oshi is now on this side of Gabby. You can see them there, looking tall as ever. So Gabby, do you like the new artwork?
Oh, I love it. It's so good. It's hard taking like how you see, because I like see her running along the street, and it's almost hard to communicate that. But James knew what I wanted. Just from me explaining what she's like as a person, or as a Yuanti. But yeah, it's amazing. It's so good.
That's so good.
Now I've just got to live up to that amazing flipping artwork.
I think I was about to say, I think you've already done that many times over.
The artwork lives up to you, Gabs. The artwork lives up to you.
Yeah.
So we've just got one more to do with Mr. Thompson.
I'll be dead. I'll be dead before that happens.
I was going to say, this was a really bad idea for us to do Rob last, because
we weren't going to. We were going to
chose me first, and then Tunk died, or Arbor died.
Oh,
there's Arbor.
yeah.
The list goes on.
But yes, thank you very much to everybody in the chat for giving some love for the artwork. I say James Christie is absolutely incredible with this work, and we send them all the love in the world. He is the ultimate cream soda bagel. So I think we could probably begin. Oh no, we can't begin. We have to do something. There's one other thing we need to do, because we've all got such bad memories and we can't remember what things we're doing. Somebody has to tell us what's going on. And who is that person?
Mama Thorpe.
Okay. What's your favorite kind of grass, guys? Bluegrass is the answer, because I'm going to sing a little song that's inspired by some bluegrass. Okay. What happened last week? Let's find out. Ding 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 ding. Well, our journey started by the docks. A plan was formed to get the drop on the crew that might be selling nimble rice. We tried to barter for a boat, but the sailor's quote was too cutthroat, and so Pups chose to steal one, much to our delight. While Oshi slumbered in her bed, we raised the boat above our head and waded through the depths and journeyed deep into the night. We found the anchor chain intact. Baggi and Pups climbed up the back to sneak inside the floating ship without causing a fright. Now on the shore with a match in hand and a bag of fireworks, Rix did stand. A child armed with explosives might have been an oversight. He set 'em all off before expected. Baggi and Pups were soon detected, and Phatts got grappled hard by something hidden out of sight. Baggi and Pups were quite a team. Phatts tried to fight a submarine, but the Mallrats couldn't handle all the sailors' wicked strikes. Pups and Baggi flew the coop, and a one-armed Phatts soon followed suit, and the three naive adventurers just escaped with their lives.
Ye fucking ha. Yes, mate. All the love in the world for Mr. Rob Thompson. That was gorgeous. Thank you very much, mate.
Rob Thompson and the cream soda bagels.
Wow, I'm now like, can we top that with this whole episode? Like, I'm now.
No, this has been good, guys. See you in 6 weeks.
Yeah. Bye. Wow. Okay. Well, from that, I think we should jump straight in. Oh, and here we come in with a resub from Dan Burman. Thanks, Dan Burman.
Oh, thanks. Oh, that was Daz gifting me a sub.
Ah, mate. Thank you very much, Daz. You big, lovely cream soda bagel. Right, so All righty, so let's get on. Shall we get on? Yeah, let's get on and play some D&D. Let's do that. All righty, so let's just abruptly stop that music in an unprofessional format, and we're going to go through and let's have a think. Okay. Yes. Oxygen. Small bubble. Floats and twists and turns through the water. See it rising up. It seems as if it's alone. An individual. Lonely. As you start to pan out, the water seems to turn. As you see that actually it's not alone, it's not lonely, it's full of hundreds and thousands of other bubbles. As the camera twists down, all we see is a manta ray sinking to the bottom with a huge hole in its side. The camera follows up the bubble as it begins to coalesce and collect until it's larger bubbles and bigger bubbles as it flings the camera up into the air, and what we see is a ship in absolute pandemonium. Cut to.
Everyone has that one object from childhood that just sticks with them forever. For some, it's a soft toy. Others hold jewelry dear. For Pups, it was the remnants of an old barrel that he dove into as a kid and got wedged inside. He begged the blacksmith to keep it intact as possible when cutting him out so he could wear it forever as a makeshift suit of armor. Years have passed and the wood has long since rotted away, yet still Pups holds onto these little elements of the barrel. The metal rings form bands around his wrist, occasionally riding up to his knuckles for an extra bite to his punches. One of the barrel bolts fits perfectly between two holes in his ear, a lesson in dodging arrows from times gone by. But as Pups readied himself for the day ahead, he realised his new favourite thing about all these wonderful pieces of nostalgia adorned across his body. They went perfectly well with his newly acquired circlet. Cut to.
Waterdeep, the future.
Howdy. My name is Big Phatts, and I have anger issues. What the fuck are you looking at?
Please continue, Mr. Phatts.
That little fuck over there is looking at me funny.
Yes, ignore him. This is a group session, yeah? Continue, please.
Right, well, a very small, snot-nosed punk of a kobold kid suggested that I attempt to address my anger problems after I tried to fight a submarine, which resulted in me tearing my hand from my wrist and replacing it with an axe, as you can see here. I don't quite see the problem with it, but those I love would strongly prefer, I can only do quotation marks with one hand now, that I seek professional help.
I see. And how does this make you feel?
Well, feelings aren't really my thing, but hey, I suppose I'll give them a go. You got a fucking problem, mister?
Please calm down, Mr. Phatts. This is a safe space. Share with us your feelings, please.
Here's my fucking feelings. I'ma kill you, you son of a bitch. Come here.
Cut to.
After studying faces, names, homes, and histories of those she was going to meet tomorrow until 3 a.m., she had bet on an easy, restful sleep until her internal body clock told her it was time for coffee and cons. But as she lay with her eyes squeezed shut, her mind's eye bled ships and nimble rights in and out of her dreams. She tossed and turned as faces of the Luskans she'd studied the night before scorched her. The repetition of running to a ship and being blocked by the captain whose name she'd forgotten, who had seen through her disguise, troubled her slumber. Shocks awake as she felt like she was falling off the gangplank, turning to see who'd pushed her and seeing a small Luskan suddenly, who she tried to coerce, whose face suddenly transformed into a goblin, whose face was half covered by a mask. Sleepy sweat congealed around the nape of her neck. Half awake and half asleep, she could almost still feel the coarse ropes in her hands of another fever dream in which a Luskin locked her up for trying to bewitch and lie. It was the familiar cascade sound that actually woke her. The boom and whistle and crackle of gunpowder and falling from the sky made her smile. Fireworks, she thought for a split second, followed by the rush of fear, regret and anger. Fuck, she shouted as she sprang out of bed. She pulled the curtains open and stared out at the sun high in the sky. Fucking overslept. Cut to.
Large and worn-out fingers flick through pages of a book. Words and phrases flash past us. Locking technology with versatile opening variations. The writing is cursive and faded. Once pulled closed, it automatically locks in 3 places by 2 hooks and a dead bolt. Baggi's forefinger runs down the page in an almost perfectly straight line as her pupils dart left to right, left to right, left to right. A dead bolt simply by closing the door. You see complex diagrams and sketches, which makes it even more precise, secure and quieter. Baggi furrows her brow and sketches in her notebook. Ensures immediate, permanent and evenly high gasket compression. Baggi brings the book close to her face to get a better look, and we see the book's title, How to Catch a Monster. We close in on Baggi's notebook where we see the scribbles time, parts, money, underline, how to get him, Baggi slams the book shut and throws it to the other side of the room. She pulls back her hair in frustration as her eyes land on her cannon, Little Thumper. Cut to.
As we see the camera kind of come up through to above the ship itself, there's absolute chaos as people are trying to pick up those that are wounded. There's a robotic bird that is trashing and smashing around in the ship's deck. As we kind of go through, we see that somebody sneaks off, pops away down underneath into the lower decks during the pandemonium, hoping to use this as cover. They come across to a door. They pull out a small set of tools and start working on the lock pops. As you see the person walk in, their arm stretches out. You see the beginnings of a tattoo, but not enough to recognise it. As they run across the office, this small storage space, towards a big book. As they flick open the book itself, we see their finger run past 1, 2, as they continue down through the pages. The door shut. The slam slams down, allowing the camera to fall through into the sea, down into the sewers, where we come across to a big and ancient door. We fly through like ghosts into a room filled with hundreds and thousands of dragons. The dock water in the morning is relatively cold. In fact, you could say it's freezing. Especially down in the south towards the dock ward, it's usually has a few floaters floating by. The stench of the ward itself is also quite unnerving, especially when you're carrying somebody that is unconscious. As we see Baggi kind of step out of that water, exhausted and tired. In their arms is a small goblin. Her face is half covered, their body full of bruises and cuts. Their foot seems to be kind of maybe facing the wrong direction. Behind them, the water lifts up slightly as this mechanical head kind of pours out. As the arm comes up, it's a axe that sort of chops through the water. As the camera kind of comes up behind them as they get towards one of the more less used docks, the kind of tired dock away from everybody else. As you see them kind of come towards the dock itself, and we see Baggi lift up the body of Pups to place it onto the docks. And as they place it up, there's a pair of platform shoes and a pair of tiny red claws. As you look up towards them, as we see Oshi standing with a cigarette and little Rix completely covered in soot.
Where the fuck have you been?
Oh, thanks very much. Thank you. Great. What's happened?
What do you mean, thank you? I don't have fucking time for this. And Baggi starts reaching in her pockets to see what she can do to try and bring Pups back round. I believe I have still a potion
Yeah, I think you got loads of potions. And then you also know that I think Pups has got loads of potions on them as well, I think.
Yeah.
4.
So she starts like rummaging through and it's just like fuck, and then pulls out this red liquid and like gets the cork out of their teeth and gently kind of like lifts Pups' head up so that his mouth opens and just tries to pour some of it in.
Yeah, Pop sort of just starts to like.
Good fucking hell. Ugh. Phatts, are you okay?
Can someone light my cigar? I seem to have lost a hand.
I got one. It's sort of like you see little Rick's and he pulls out like what looks like a banger and then a lighter and he goes to light the banger to light your cigar with it.
Don't fucking...
And then leans over with the lighter.
I'm getting out of this.
And he just tosses the banger behind him. Did you see did explosion?
Yeah, we saw it. So what happened about the time that you were supposed to set it off?
I did it to the watch. And he lifts the watch up. And you see that the watch has like got a big crack in it.
Well, good. This day can't get any worse, I suppose. And what happened to you?
He looks up at Oshi.
What happened to me? Let's just rewind a moment. Who was supposed to wake me up?
I am not your fucking alarm clock.
I knew you'd do this. All of you. And thanks, little Rick. I really didn't think you'd do this to me.
What is it that I'm supposed to have done now?
It's okay. You should rest. You've obviously been through a lot. But I just knew you'd do it. Thinking you're better than me. You're all a little team now.
Do you realize how hard it is going to be for me to get as shiny as I was before? Look at me. Fucking look at me.
You do look quite bad.
I
think we can all agree it would have gone better if you'd have waited for me or woke me up.
That's just classic you, isn't it, Oshi? Blaming everybody else for your laziness. Like, it's disrespectful is what it is. We can't look after you all the time. We are a team. We just are meant to stick together and you were the only one who didn't show, so... And we could have lost Pups.
Sorry. You look after me.
Well, that's what you were insinuating by saying, why was I not the one who was woken up? It's your responsibility. I woke up on time. Okay. Phatts, did you wake up in time?
I never go to sleep.
I'll stop looking after you all then. And Oshi walks away.
Well, that's even more useful, isn't it? I can call after her.
She leaves. She keeps walking.
Are we still in, we're still in the water right now, are we?
I think you kind of are. I think Baggi probably is out with Pups. I think you're probably still sat in the water.
Still standing in the water. Well, with one axed hand into the woods, and the other one, he pushes himself up onto the dock and just kind of sits still smoking.
I need a fucking drink.
So, Oshi, you kind of walk off. What's the kind of thoughts that's going through your head as you walk away?
Maybe a person who was used to feeling feelings more would realize that because she feels badly, she just wants to get out of the situation. But on the surface, she's like, they don't fucking know how much I do for them and how much I've done and how everything I've sacrificed from being 9 years old, the things I've done to make sure there's money in the piss pot and stuff. like, how dare they think that they look after me? That's what she's told us to do.
Right, could you do a perception check for me, please?
It's a 9. Getting kidnapped again.
I think you're so angry, and the bells from the ships are still ringing across, that you don't notice anything. You just almost will walk through that. That kind of like beginnings of shops opening and like the market sort of, or the docks beginning to kind of stir. I think you kind of walk past, jump over boxes and stuff. But you're on an absolute like wander mission. You're bimbling, but you don't really know. You couldn't recognise if your sister stepped out in front of you. You would never recognise them. As we see kind of her visage sort of disappear off into the dock ward, we come back to the kind of the three of you sort of or the four of you with little Ricks on the dock's edge, sort of sitting out, looking out at the rising sun and the bells ringing from the ships itself, and the smell of fish and shit.
Well, this seems all far too familiar. What happened?
You tell me.
Wow. We were completely outnumbered up there. Pups, you got hit really hard. I tried to fend him off, and then I realised it wasn't going to go anywhere. And I caused a massive noise, so more people came. So I just had to grab you and jump.
So you got me out alive.
Yeah. But they all saw us. And they're going to be coming for us. Phatts, what happened to you?
Well, you know that ship that goes underwater that we saw in the Temple of Gond? That's Luskin. Turned out to be on the bottom of the ship. Kind of grabbed me. I decided to do some DIY augmentation and rip my own hand off. Put an axe in it instead. You know, ladders are hard to climb when you've got an axe for a hand. Let's just say that ship, that underwater ship, is permanently underwater now. I may or may not have murdered several, yeah.
Several what?
Yeah. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
Who were they?
Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Dead people.
Do you want to do a quick history check? Because you kind of go through your ragey brain to try and figure out if you can remember what somebody looked like. Let's have a look.
I don't fucking know, okay? Some of them were small. Some of them were not small. I fucking busted the glass open. Water came rushing in. I may or may not have cut up their drowned bodies afterwards to make sure they were dead.
Whoa.
Point is, we're alive, but we need to get out of here as fast as possible. Pups, you know these back streets. Let's not go through the main ways.
Yeah. Pups sort of dusts himself down and gets up, takes his bearings. Like, yeah, where are we going? Are we going back to Troll Skull?
Yes. Get cleaned off. We need an alibi.
Well, if only we had someone who wasn't there.
So as you...
Who wasn't...
Sorry, I thought you'd finish. My apologies.
No, I'm sorry. I keep pausing. Doing an acting, Joe.
Dramatic pause. Beat.
Yeah, if only we had someone who wasn't with us and could vouch for us, who wasn't now really pissed off at us.
She'll vouch for us. She owes us.
Yeah, don't open with that.
I will open however the fuck I like.
And when you say open, you sort of like tried to get up, but you're like, I'd say like a good 3/4 of your body is full of silt. So you open your silt hatch. As this like flood of mud and silt kind of like pours out of you. There's boots.
All of my cigars.
Surely that's in a different compartment.
No, it's the same hatch.
I'm not watertight.
Yeah. There is you see loads of boots, you see like, a few fish hooks and things like this kind of pour out. There's a solid silver case that is the shape of a cigar that you are very glad is still intact. And then you kind of look down and you see there's something else sort of shiny in the dirt. Should I give you a big one? Yeah, let's give you a big one. Overpower time. Oh, okay, cool. So you find, I thought it was going to be a magic item then for a second. You find like, you can see there's this like slight sort of garnet color. You see one that's like an amethyst. You see one that has like kind of this like very pearlescent pearl sort of sitting there. And you also see a very rare stone known as a peridot. As you find these 5 uncut precious gems, all worth 26 gold pieces each. And they are big like clutch. Actually, you also find a rose quartz in there as well.
Wow. Where'd you get those?
I got a lot of stuff inside me that I don't often do like an inventory of things that I've swallowed. That can be from God knows when, but
I used to do that all the time when I was a kid, like all these little trinkets that I would like leave behind. My mum used to call them a fizzlekins. Like she'd be like, are you doing a fizzlekins again? Like whenever I'd like clear something out and like pick up this like shiny thing that I'd forgotten for a while.
Pups, it is wonderful that you are in such a fucking good mood, but I do not care about when you were a child. Fizzlekins or whatever the fuck that means. We need to go.
Okay. Do you want to... I'm alive. That's the most important thing to me right now. Everything else is just details. Do you want to come or do you want to carry on with your tantrum?
Let's just go. And at this point, I think Baggi just like literally scoops up Pups and is like, "You're too. Tell us where to go." Yeah, like that. Just like sat nav.
Pups. This way.
And as you say, telling you where to go, we hear this muffled voice as the camera searches down towards the rest of the dock ward. You hear, "You can't tell me where to go. You don't fucking look after me. You don't fucking tell me what to do." As we see Oshi sort of stomping through the docks. Whereabouts do you want to kind of move over to, Oshi?
Oshi's looking for the bar from the Assassin's Guild. And, like she's like, "Oh, it's just gonna fucking turn up, is it? Where I know it is."
And he's so the dagger. It was the dagger, wasn't it?
Yeah, the dagger.
Yeah, and he's sort of like, you're like, "Fucking whatever," and you kind of turn around, and be like, "Oh yeah, I reckon what's it gonna be over there?" And you point, and there's a door.
Yeah, so she goes up to it and I guess she looks if there's the A on it.
There is a symbol. There's a small symbol in the corner. It's not very prominent, but it's there.
And she pushes the door open.
As you kind of push the door open. This one feels a little bit busier than it was before. But it looks identical. Outside, there were no windows. Inside, the same 2 windows that were there before. The bar is sort of, again, resting on those 2 barrels. The plank of wood across the side. The best rum, the best whiskey, the best gin is all behind the bar. And there's different people sort of sat around the tables. They seem less nervous to you than the last time you were here. And as you start walking in, people are like starting to nod at you as you kind of go in.
because she's still on like a stomp, she kind of, you know, when you realise that people are like saying hi to you or nodding at you as you walk past, and she's like, oh, and it's just making her feel stupid because like she's like, oh fucking hell, it's the first time I'm here on my own and I'm just making myself like a dick. And then she goes up to the person behind the bar. Was their name Polly?
It was Polly, yeah.
Yeah. And I assume it's Polly again. I recognise it's Polly.
Yeah, it's Polly.
And Oshi says, hi, Polly, can I just have some rum, please?
Yeah, no worries, out. And she sort of like grabs hold of a glass and sort of pours it over, puts it down, grabs a bottle, just puts it down in front of you. You right,
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah. Has anybody here ever had a contract on their own family?
On their own family? I mean, it's happened. I mean, we do everything for pay. I mean, what's the line? Is it ain't personal, it's business, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been, of course, there's always been an aunt or an uncle that wants someone bumped off. I think, Jerry, and it's like this old boy with like half a tooth missing. And he's like, bleh. And he's there pouring something into his own drink. And she kind of turns to you, it's like, he's got this affiliation with poison. He keeps putting a little bit into his tea to kind of build up his tolerance. What was it, that job you did that was a bit, you know, oh yeah, it's like two people, they were waiting for the parents to pop it, so they to get the inheritance, so I kind of went in and poisoned them. Oh yeah, so we do stuff like that. That's been done before.
That seems sensible, because there's a reason to do it. I suppose you shouldn't just, yeah, like a crime of passion's not really the...
No, there's no money in a crime of passion, is there?
Yeah. And by this point, she's had like a few sips, so she's a bit calmer now.
It's nice. Do you like it?
Yeah, really good. Thanks. Yeah. Who the fuck is Jerry? Like, she just realises, like, what?
So it's like points over. It's a table over there. And you got to turn around this time, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and then she's like, thanks, Polly, and goes over.
Yeah, so this old boy, he's like big, massive curly hair, really grey, sort of greying all the way through. He sort of like started to sort of like dread it around the back as he sort of sits there with his teeth are kind of like moulding away, really. But he's kind of got this beautiful white tattoos on his dark skin as it's kind of across this way. And he's there with a pipette and this like black jar. He's just like squeezing it into his rum. He puts down. You right? You're right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Some people call you. There was a certain name that came up. What was it? Sounded like she. I just heard the people start calling you O, so I just went with that. Is that all right? Do you want some rum or a little top of poison? I know you can take it.
Yeah, I can. Thanks. I'm all right with I've got rum here. Thanks.
All right, no worries. Well, have a seat. Go on. You don't want to stand up. What are you standing up for?
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I've actually got a funny story. Well, I don't know if funny's the right word for it, but I've got a story about poison.
About?
Yeah. I accidentally killed someone. I was just like testing it out, testing the water, and then watched his mouth like froth on the street, and then like blood just dripped out of everywhere.
Sounds like cherry juice.
Cherry juice.
It's kind of like, you know, when you've had too much wine and you throw up, and it gets that kind of like frothiness. Did it have that kind of pouring out from the side of his mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cherry juice sort of rips the inside of your stomach lining and kind of pushes it out. And it sort of like mushes up your organs a little bit. It's nasty stuff. It's quite fun though.
Yeah. Cool. So what is it that you use?
A multitude of different things. Depends on what the job is, you know what I mean? You want someone to fall asleep and peacefully as if nothing happened. If you want no sign at all. If you really want someone to know that it's happened at the same time, I've got something for that as well. Some airborne sort of stuff. I've got stuff you can pop onto a blade. I have injected somebody, but that was I don't like doing that. It's a bit too fast. You know, sometimes you just want to sit back and watch. You know, I find it a bit dark when it's too fast. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like, it's just sort of takes the joy out of it a little bit. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah.
You got to have standards and morals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, what do you think of people who just use blades?
I think that's a good way of doing things. I think it's messy.
That's true.
Some people look and they frown upon people like me. Coward's way, they say sometimes. But it's clean, it's effective, and often untraceable.
It's quite fun as well.
I think I'm going to like you, O.
You too, Jerry.
Hang on a sec. He kind of pops his hand into his, like, he's got like a satchel, like a doctor's satchel. And he pulls out this kind of like lime green liquid. There you go. Pops on the table. Chat, can you tell me what this lime green poison is, what it's called, please? As he kind of like slides it across. So you're interested in poison?
I am. I think it's because it's the one thing that out of everything can't get me.
Oh, I see. Wow. So you've got this kind of frog's kiss sitting on the table here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's like a mixture of lots of different things. Are you a keen gardener? Do you like looking at plants, flowers,
Yeah, I used
roots,
to.
leaves, daisies, stuff like that?
When I was a kid, yeah.
Good. Keep your eye open. You might want to, there's stuff that's growing in between all the cracks of the city. Stuff you can mix together, a little pinch of this, a little pinch of that. You can make some really interesting things. So, take this frog's kiss. I want you to tell me what it does.
Okay.
Now, what does it do?
What? You want me to go and find out, or you want me to guess?
Pick it up, have a look at it. She's sort of like, yeah, pick it up and have a look. All right, so let's do, I'm going to get you to do a roll. So let's do I reckon it should be a nature check.
Okay.
Remember, you've got your inspiration. Okay, a 9. Okay. It perplexes you for now, and you're not sure what's actually inside it or what it will do. I think he kind of looks over at you. Has he got an answer?
Does it turn people into roots?
No, you might have to do a practical experiment. But learning about poisons is a craft, and it takes time. You want to be looking for plants, making new potions, making new poisons. It's almost like it's an art form. You know what I mean? So, if you want help with this, I'll be willing to sort of share my trade a bit with you. Not going to it won't be free though.
Well, I was just thinking either I could test your potion-filled rum before you try it. You know, like you do with a cat to see if the food is off or poisoned. Or I could just kill someone the messy way for you.
What you would do with that little jar is your prerogative. It's not none of my business, but it's my fucking rum. And he sort of swings it back, and you can see that layer of like blackness that's on the top. And he's like, and his eyeballs sort of like start like turning and twisting around, and then he's just like, and he just falls to the table. And then you hear this cheer from the rest of the bar as Polly's there going, come on in, pay up. And everyone comes over and it's like, fine, yeah, fair enough, yes. And they're all giving their gold coins over. And then you see this one person who's a small halfling, and she walks over and is like, "Thank you very much." And she just like takes the winnings, pours it into the thing, and she walks over to your table and sticks a gold coin on top of his head, just here. And it goes, "All right."
Yeah. Is he going to be all right?
Oh yeah, he'll be fine. Don't worry about him. If you want a bit of the action, all you need to do is just pop a bet on at the bar. It's usually that he's going to do it, but some of these folks have never seen him around before, so it's just a good winning day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good hustle. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Femina.
Femina. Nice. Not into poison then, no?
No, good old Blades me.
Yeah.
You on a job? You on a job? Or you on a job? Or have you got a job?
I've got a job that I'm supposed to be doing, but I had a bit of a nightmare with my family, so... But I'm on it. I'm working on it. Yeah.
All right. Little advice from me, if you want to get on this, do well in this guild, drop the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah. So, yeah, yeah, of course. And Oshi's like, fuck, you have to drop your family. Like, it wasn't, like, she's thinking about her own parents, like, it wasn't even a personal thing. They weren't protecting me. They didn't care that I had scales all over my face. They just dropped their family. Like, it's all, like, becoming clear. And her heart's, like, hardening again. She's like, yeah. I mean, it's just so, it's obvious. Yeah, thanks, Femina. I suppose this is like, God. And then she stops herself because she's like, I don't want to sound so weak.
Guild, yeah. It's not like finishes your sentence.
Yeah, our guild, right.
Yeah, because you're not my fucking sister, all right? She sort of like giggles and laughs. And it's like, so you got a job, right? Yeah. When did you get the job?
Yesterday.
Fucking hell, you're taking your time, aren't you?
Yeah. I actually had to wait for somewhere to be open. I might go now.
All right. Well, good day.
You too. Best of luck with everything. Oh, she's never felt so uncool in her entire life. Like, normally she knows what to say, but she knows she can't bullshit these people.
You could try if you want.
You're
going to make an alter ego. Go on.
I always the alter ego, like the crap. Oh, she's so can't talk to people. That starts going around her head, and she's like, God, you're so uncool. What's happened? And she's like, maybe this is who you should be. People underestimate the idiots who can't talk. And she's like, all right then, well, and she tries out. She goes, she stands up and she walks out and she goes, love you. And then it's like, oh fuck.
As you kind of walk out, and I think as you go past, you hear there's a coin being thrown over and lands on the bar. As you kind of walk out into the street, and that it kind of like the light sort of blinds you as you come out, and you're out into the dock ward, and you turn around and the door's gone. As we see this, like this is what we kind of the camera view. It's as we see this head of Pups sort of like bouncing across in the arms of Baggi as you're kind of like running away down. You're going through all the different side streets. You're cutting through. It's a fucking long way as your guys are running back from the dock ward, kind of all the way back up to the north ward. It's a bit of a distance, I would say.
And this sort of like shaking, is sort of like slowly bringing little bits of the heist back to Pups, and remembering like the crew and the bell and the climb and the attacks and the shields and like attacking and like not being able to get all the way through to where we were attacking, and not quite understanding what that was, and then something keeps sitting out and persisting, and something that just isn't quite right in the thing is the fucking figurehead. Why does the figurehead keep running round his head? Can I do a roll on that to see if there's anything as to why it pops around his head?
All right, so let's do... I'm going to think this is some sort of intelligence roll, because it's like a logic test, really, isn't it? It's like this plus this equals this. It's kind of what you're trying to figure out. So let's call it an investigation check.
Okay, I'm going to use my inspiration. No,
let's call it an arcana.
An arcana. Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration for this.
All right.
Here we go. Double ones. Let's go.
Wow. All right. So, my
head hurts.
Your head really hurts. Even the thought of the figurehead being a thing, you hitting above like someone's head and still planting a hit, all of that disappears. You just remember, the thing you remember the most is the squawking of a robotic bird. That's what's really fills your head at the moment, but none of the battle. You don't even remember how you snuck on.
Okay. And just it goes back to almost like a fugue state. So this way.
Turn left at the next junction.
Turn at the next roundabout. Turn left. Keep going on Many Cats Alley.
Yeah, what a hangover. Perfect. So you kind of like, I think, because that's sort of internally that you're thinking, you guys get back to Troll Skull. I would say sort of late morning, sort of about 11ish. As you kind of burst in through the doors. Do you go through the front doors, or do you try and sneak your way around the back or anything like that?
I think it's straight through the front at this point.
All right, cool. So you kind of make your way in, and you see that like the building work is going on. It's getting there. Can one of you, not Pups, do a perception check for me, please?
I'll do it.
Pups' passive perception is about 6 currently.
Two.
Oh
9.
my word! Return of the Mallrats. Here we go. As you sort of run in straight into the pub, and actually, let's going to call this day that you've actually given the day off for the builders, because you knew there was going to be some dodgy shit going on with you guys. So it's almost like everything's sort of down tools. There's certain walls that are starting to go up. The ceiling's been replastered. Like, it's starting to kind of make its way through. You can see that one of the decorators is sort of with a white paint, sort of written GP Daz and then like painted over it, but you can still see it through the paint. As you kind of like, you kind of walk in, and you 3 of you are exhausted. In fact, do take that condition because you haven't slept. As you collapse down essentially and drop Pups down onto the floor of the pub.
I think Baggi immediately goes to the cupboards in search for food, just anything that you can just eat immediately.
Mm-hmm. Bread, biscuits.
Yeah, anything like that.
Yeah, bread, biscuits, and tea is pretty much the stuff that you find. Mainly it's sort of like the secret stash for the builders, that they've got a little tea station. You're just raiding their tea station essentially.
Yeah. She starts making a tea, and then she just sort of half under her breath and half to Phatts is just like, what exactly does she even think that she actually does for us when she's never even can hear most of the fucking time? And it's mostly to herself, but I think loud enough so that Phatts can hear it and join in if he so wishes. But also it's like she's just fuming over the tea, just like getting the bag in and just...
If I'm being completely honest, I have only known you for a short amount of time, as personally as we have got to know each other. I fucking hate that you auntie.
At that point, Baggi stops, places the spoon down next to the cup.
Let's go, Gabs. Let's go.
Turns around and just goes, "What did you just say?"
What did you think I just said? Do you realize how close we were to dying there? How much better it would have been if there was someone whose fucking job it is to sneak around and kill people, who over fucking slept. There are no repeats in this. We are not her alarm clock. And if she thinks that we are, then there is a serious mismanagement of hierarchy in this house.
I hear what you're saying, Big Phatts. And actually, out of everyone here right now, I have more right to be pissed at her for not being there, because I know what it's like when you lose a friend and you are not there and there's nothing you can do about it. And we could have so easily have lost Pups. So yeah, I'm really angry with her. I'm pissed off with her. But don't you dare say you hate her. She's amazing. And yes, she fucked up. But if you want to be part of the team, we don't hate each other. We get pissed off for a while, we have it out, and then we move on. If you're part of this group, you're part of this group, and we do not hate each other. I think that's fair to say, isn't it, Pups?
Wasn't too long ago, Phatts, that it was you who was the liability. And that one over there physically put you back together twice. And we talked you down. We sorted you out. We brought you in and we forgave you. Now it's your turn.
I'm just saying, people in this room right now have contributed to this household. Someone is not pulling their weight and could have cost you another life, another friend gone missing, drowning in the depths. I will hate whoever I fucking please.
And he smashes his axe against the door and then goes up, walks out of the room.
I'm getting fucking shiny again. Fuck y'all.
Sort of this like silence. And then you just hear the kettle starts to boil, and the whistle of the kettle sort of like fills the air a little bit. I'm just going to make a quick roll. I'm going to use my disadvantage.
Baggi, when did we become the parents?
Great. As you say, Baggi, when it comes to parents, you kind of look up and you see a shadow in the window looking inside, and it disappears quickly.
From where?
From out the front.
We both saw it.
Yeah, but it was like a clang as somebody was like trying to get up and look through the window.
Oh, shit. I'm going to go to an opposite window, opposite vantage point, and see if I can see someone.
You run over to the window and you just see someone's feet kind of go around the back of the alley and run out into the street and off into the main street.
Pups takes a deep breath.
They've gone out of sight, I presume.
Yeah, I think you've just seen them kind of round that corner up towards the main road.
I think Baggi's going to attempt to run to try and at least see who it was.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to scull another potion and go and follow her.
All right, so what's your guys' speed? So you're like 30 feet, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Pups, you're going to be way higher than that, aren't you?
40. Oh, that was double crit on the...
Double crit, there we go.
About time.
I reckon, yeah, so you dash it for 80.
40. Yeah.
You see, as you kind of come around, what you see is you see this quite tall elf-looking person They have dark skin. As they sort of like starting to run towards the main street. The main street is really busy, as it usually is at this time. Your passive is 18, isn't it?
Yeah.
You smell sea salt on them.
I'm going to try and trip them up before they get there.
All right. Have you got anything? So I think you're about maybe 20 feet away from them. You're both running, so imagine about this got space. So maybe we should do a contested run and sort of see, maybe contested, what do you reckon, athletics?
Yeah.
Or acrobatics?
Acrobatics is better. Yeah, that's true. I'm exhausted, so I'd love acrobatics.
Okay, we'll do with acrobatics then. All right, so I'll give them a little bit more. All right, so I roll a 12. Oh my god! So both of you, so you kind of like come around the corner and you can see that skid as they sort of merge into the rest of the people on the street, and you do the same and you match them. Baggi, you're a little bit further back. Do you want to keep running as well?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm just going to keep going.
Let's do your acrobatics check as well, because you're going to be another 10 feet behind them.
Yeah. 12.
Oh my god!
So you all slide around this corner, and it's sort of like you're all at the same pace as each other. It's almost like perhaps you look forward and you go, I would have jumped on that box. I would have passed that person. I would have done. And it's like they're matching you part for part as you're sort of running. I'm going to put some running music on, I think. That's not running music. Funky Rider. Let's do that.
Yeah.
As you're sort of like sprinting along, as you sort of ducking in and out of the kind of the morning traffic, and you can still see them, and they're pegging it away. They're going to turn around and they fire off a crossbow bolt at you.
Okay. This shit just got real.
For a 12.
No, duck. Keep running.
Swings past you, like flies past you. None of the people around you seem to notice it's even there. It sort of just goes straight past as they keep running. Okay, what would you guys like to do? I'm not going to do initiative order. I'm just literally going to just run this as a chase scene so that you guys can keep going.
I'm going to try and close distance. I think at distance I don't have too much of a chance, but I think if I can get my quarterstaff under their legs, I want to try and catch them up and just take out their knee.
All right, let's do the same acrobatics check then.
Okay, come on.
Oh, it's a 9 because disadvantage.
It's a 9.
Oh my word. So so Baggi, do you want to do one?
Yeah, I was going to actually try and fire a light crossbow at them, but literally to hit them like in the calf or in the foot, just to slow them down.
Okay, so you're going to do, this is called a cooled shot. So we're going to I'm going to add 3 to the AC. So if you hit this, it will do the things you want to do, but it's going to be a little bit harder to hit it.
Okay, fab.
All right.
Let's give it a go.
17.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this may be enough. Let me just double check.
Please be enough.
I can't remember what they're called now. That was it. Sorry, there's one thing that they're called by, and you're like, is it that one? Okay.
17. There's been a lot of doubles today.
So we wanted to roll. Yeah. We need to roll. Essentially, 14 is what the AC should be. Oh yeah, man, you hit it.
Yes, and I feel like it kind of. It's not so much like a piercing. It's more that it lands kind of in the boot and just kind of gently pierces the heel or something. I don't know, yeah.
So you see him and he just trips.
Makes him stumble, yeah.
He stumbles and trips and falls flat over a cart of cabbages, and someone's like, my cabbages! As he sort of falls and rolls, and I think Pups, you just close up that distance and jumps straight onto him.
Yeah.
As you can see, he sort of stood there and he's looking up at you. Big pointy ears, that kind of grey skin, white hair. As you see, he's fumbling in his pocket. And he pulls out something and he goes to put it in his mouth.
Stop that shit. Go for it. No.
All right, let's do... No. I think there's a sleight of hand on this. And
Oh, come on. So many lovely, like, dex-based things, please. 12.
Oh, you did a stealth. This needs to be a sleight of hand.
Okay. Oh my god! So many nat ones!
As you see him pop in this kind of like white, it's like a white shell. And he sticks it into his mouth and goes, and his teeth sort of grind together as the foam starts to kind of pour out. As he kind of just stares at you, sort of like smiling away. And then just sort of... And then his body begins to fizzle and smoke. And his body just sort of crumbles away as you're like holding on to nothing. But as it kind of crumbles away, the thing that hits your nose is the smell of salt. As his body disappears and blows off in the wind.
Oh, shit.
Baggi comes like running in just behind and is like, where did it go?
This is the worst fucking day ever. Just, I don't know, just grab something into its mouth and just, like, it just dissolved. This thing just dissolved. I tried to stop him. I'm too fucking tired, man.
Well, whatever it is, it's gone, right? So can't pass on any information. And then I think it's at that point, hearing the word information come from her own mouth, she's suddenly very aware that there are people around, and once again they're out. And so just kind of like puts her hand on Pups' shoulder and is just like, we have to go back now. And immediately starts to head back towards the manor.
Is there anything? Is this completely dissolved into nothingness? There's nothing that like resembles a clue. Nothing that resembles anything that could be helpful.
All right, let's do. I think the pair of you do this, so I'm going to give you the help action on this. Who's leading this investigation?
I will help you, Baggi.
Okay, cool.
So you got advantage on this investigation check.
Nice. Have I used a bomb yet?
No, but you've got advantage. You've got advantage.
I've got advantage anyway. Okay. All right, here we go. 20.
Really nice. So you start like fishing through what's left of there. What you actually come down to is a small, it's like almost like a metal latch. And I think, Baggi, you hold it and you kind of feel it, and you bring it to your nose and you start to smell it, and you can smell like the smell of fireworks or gunpowder. As you kind of hold this, you realize this is a mechanism for something you have been studying recently, which is firearms. You also recognize can you do another investigation for me?
Can I help again?
I'm gonna say not on this one, because this is now Baggi like focuses down on this one piece. So if you wanted to use your inspiration now, you could use it.
I'm gonna use my inspiration now.
Okay.
24.
24. Oh my word. So you look at this metal and the composition of the metal. It doesn't look like the types of brass or steel that you've seen here in Waterdeep. I mean, obviously there's loads of different places that you can kind of get these different types of steels. But this is, I'm not going to use the word alien, but is very unusual metal composition. Definitely something that's developed off the coast and not on the Sword Coast.
Okay. After kind of like sniffing it and holding it, she just turns to Pups and is like, well, whoever that was, they are not from anywhere near here.
No, I've never seen anyone like that before. But they know where we live now. That's not good.
Where do you think they were heading? Do we know what? Do we recognise where we've sort of ended up and like what sort of route roughly they were taking? Whether they were going like south or?
The problem is you've kind of stopped, literally just outside of the. Where is it? Oh, no, that's Phelan. Sorry, guys. There it is. You've literally come onto Dalzorin Street, which is a really busy road. Sort of like the second busiest to the north, the high road that kind of goes from north to south of the city. So I don't think you would really know which direction they're going from there. And I think Pups, you also know if you were running, seeing that this person did a lot of things that you would do, you think that they wouldn't go a direct route anyway.
Yeah, they're probably trying to throw us off the trail. But if there's one, there's going to be more. So we're going to have to stay vigilant, keep someone on watch at all times. And we're going to, whatever is going on, this anger that's going on amongst the group, we need to park that right now or we're going to end up getting ourselves all killed. And with that, Pups is pulling out this sending stone and messaging Oshi. And just saying, they know where we live. I need you.
As we hear bum 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 bum, as a scaly hand with black purple nails sort of turns the rock and looks upon it. And what's the facial expression that you have, Oshi? As we fade to white, as we're going to go in for a little break there. Okay.
It's such an emoji. It's the Oshi emoji, just the roll eyes.
Alrighty, good. Okay, so you've kind of things have got really interesting in the household by the looks of things. We've got a small kind of like division through an action, which I think is, you know, in my opinion, doesn't really matter. And you know, the progression into the Assassin's Guild. But you have stopped somebody from knowing where, like a scout of some kind. And I think the discoveries that Baggi has just made are going to be quite important to your rest of your investigations. But you're all kind of thinking to keep on point, and this is that message kind of from Pups is that idea of staying on target, stay on point, stay together. Great. I really enjoyed going back with you guys. I forgot how much fun it is to kind of chat and stuff. All right.
We all come back and we all fall out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Classic.
We all hit it at 100 miles an hour.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, so we're going to pop off and be back in about 5 minutes' time. During that time, if you could all do me a favour, all right, cars and vans and stuff, you all do me a favour, pop over to our YouTube channel, just give us a quick subscribe. I would really, really appreciate that. Try and get those numbers up as much as we can. That would be wonderful. If you are in the chat, I love you guys, you're amazing. And if you're out lurking, I love you guys, you're amazing. But give us a little follow to show us how much you love us too. And we will see you guys in about 5 minutes' time. Anything else we want to say before we go?
Just a little thing on the YouTube channel is that we're slowly but surely uploading all of the little bits from 7 Days of Sabotage, which was the week-long anniversary that we did at the end of May. There's new content going up there weekly now. And yeah, have a little look around if YouTube is your favoured way of consuming things that have already streamed, because there's a lot on there and it's a lot of fun.
Exactly. So we'll see you guys in about 5 minutes time. Get a gin, get a beer, get a cup of tea, and we'll see you guys in a little while. Okay, bye. Bye. Mm. Mm. Oh, cold beer.
Yes.
Some good shit right there.
Oh,
That's a good shit.
me and Rob experienced cans of Guinness that were so warm in a tent that when you opened them, they got cooler.
Mm. Yeah, they got colder as you drank them. It's very strange.
I described it in my exhausted state as it was like drinking Guinness out of another human.
It really was. Yeah.
That's really bizarre. But welcome back. I hope you got yourself a gin, got yourself a beer, got yourself a cup of tea. And welcome back to Waterdeep Mallrats Dragon Heist, episode 19, I believe it is. I didn't do that at the beginning.
Quite a selection of drinks as well.
Ooh.
A gin, a beer, and a cup of tea.
Yeah, get them all together. Curdle or something, I can't remember.
Yeah, starter, main, and dessert.
Grim. So yes, welcome. Just as my usual sort of plug of other things in which we've seen on Twitch. I spoke about them during the TPK that we just had, which is do go over and check out the dreaded GM. Over at twitch.tv/dreadedgm. I absolutely adore them. They're wonderful human beings. Pure story, theatre of the mind, don't rush. They just do what the hell they like, and I'm a big fan of them. So do go check them out at some point, and just say that they're from us and that you've enjoyed us, and then we want to come and see them because that might help them out. But yeah, they're wonderful people. I think they're from New Zealand, so they're a really good morning thing you can stick on when you're at work, which is a nice sort of switch from our side, which is quite good. So yeah, do go check them out, and they're wonderful. They've had us lots of following. I see that Bloody has come over from those guys, and they're really wonderful. So thank you for that. Alrighty, shall we crack on? I think we should carry on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Gabby, what was the face again? And so we sort of see like that. Those eyes is what we see first. And it is sort of like the rest of the face kind of comes into focus. And you're still in the dock ward. Are you still walking around the dock ward, or have you kind of moved?
Yeah, I think she's moving up towards WD News, which is where she knew the mission was.
Okay, cool. As a sort of like, I think there's the heat of the afternoon is then starting to kick in, so it's about 1 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's quite heavy as you kind of like moving towards the northern part of the. Oh no, it's just next going towards the City of the Dead. As you kind of walk your way through, you've passed Blackstar. As you kind of look to your down the road itself, you can see the scaffolding that is around the statue that is currently being built of Tunk. As you kind of like just walking past it, you see the Chat Maison and the Pollock and Pearl next to you. So the road is sort of to your left. As you carry on walking. Yes. Okay.
Today is not the day for that.
But you see it's quite looming, it's quite large, and I think the thought you had in your brain is like his chin didn't like that. As you sort of, well, no one really knew what his chin looked like. But you kind of like continue up. And this sort of like what we see is the continuation of you walking as the sun is sort of like closing around and then sort of begins to sort of settle into the sort of twilight evening. By the time that you get to it was the time you get to Lamp Street, a street that we've sort of seemed to visit time and time again on this show. You can see that the 90 Bells is busy because most of the editing rooms of the different newspapers have closed down for the night. As they're sort of closing up, and you can see as you walk along, you can see there's the WD News, of course, your main target. You can see the Waterdeep Wazoo. You can see the what was the name of the one we had? It was a really good one. Oh yeah, the Waterdeep. Was it the Waterdeep? was it the Tide? I can't remember what it's called now. But you see all the different papers sort of closing up. Even the newspaper boys that are out the front, they are now sort of like essentially flogging pieces of paper as it's become more and more useless as the news is now old. And we have to wait until the morning to find out any new additions. But you're kind of like sweeping in through this street. As you see somebody locking up the door to WD News. He's quite tall. He's got this kind of like, I would say is obnoxiously tight 80s jeans on. And he's just got this kind of stupid haircut and a really long face. It kind of has that sort of face that you want to smack repeatedly on a concrete floor. As he sort of turns around and he's got this kind of, I would say it's quite an expensive looking horse. That's sort of like on the street itself.
Like the animal, the four-legged neighing animal.
Yes, yeah.
Right. Okay. Oshi rushes up and says, "Jeremy, Mr. Barkskin. Thank God I caught you."
Oh, no worries. It's absolutely fine. And he starts getting his pen out. Do you want an autograph or something?
Oh, it's Prue.
Oh, yeah, Prue. Oh.
Yeah.
It's so good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, great. So are we...
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just obviously like with the situation with your horse.
It's a nice horse. Do you like my horse?
Yeah.
It's a nice horse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it cost me so much money, this horse.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, because you want to stud it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, great. Like, you said something about how a stud knows a stud, and that's why you'd think your horse would be...
It'd be perfect for me, yeah.
Yeah. So we were going to go and look at contracts and figure out which one of my...
Well, that just sounds boring, doesn't it? Contracts and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we could just go for a drink then.
That sounds amazing. I mean,
great. Okay, yeah.
I mean, we could go to 90 bells, but like it's not good enough for the likes of you and I. Is it really? Let's be honest.
Oh, that's what I always think about you when, after we've had every chat we've had, I think he's just so funny.
Wonderful, yes.
And handsome. And wonderful. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking too much now. So, where is it you want to go? Where is it where you've got a private booth?
Oh, the Twat Hat. Yeah, let's go to the Twat Hat.
Yeah, I love it there. Yeah, okay, great.
Okay. And he kind of offers his arm.
And Oshi takes it.
And he sort of like wanders down. Yeah,
your arms are so big, yeah.
I do work out, I do try. It's so difficult, it's so difficult. You just got to constantly work on that image, you know what I mean? And like make sure that those arms stay thick. And so there's always a silence that kicks across the street slightly. And then, like, a glass gets smashed somewhere. Oh, dear. Prue. So, what was it we were supposed to talk about again? I mean, usually my secretary deals with all of these problems,
Yeah, you've met my dad through Senior.
Senior, yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
And he... you saw his foals and you were talking about how your stud, the whole stud thing, and you thought that it'd be great for your horse to kind of meet some of our horses.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like insemination and because you remember the family, right?
Yeah, of course. Insemination.
Prizes.
Prizes. Yeah,
yeah. Because you bet on Queen on Ireland.
Yes, of course. Yes, one of your horses, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Here we are. And he's sort of like, and you can see this kind of grand building. there's somebody at the door, and they kind of walks up the grand marble staircase, and he's like, "Please, just follow my lead." And he goes up to like the security, and the security guy goes, "Sorry, you are?" And he goes, "I'm a twat." And then pulls out a card, and it's like got T.W.A.T. And the security goes, "Oh, of course. Please, Mr. Twat, come in." It's like, "Thank you very much. This is my friend. So this is Prue.
Prunella Preisley.
Yes, this is Prue." And so, okay. Are you a twat?
I am with a twat, yeah.
Oh, good. That sort of like ushers you in. It's a very open plan sort of space. There's beautiful lush carpets, very rare in Waterdeep. And you see that there's these kind of like different armchairs and different sort of small tables around. There's a lot of like different sort of like crystal goblets and crystal decanters around it. So please come, let's go sit down. The music that's kicking through is somebody is sat at a piano. Something you do notice, because you have been here before, is that it's usually the circle tables are always a single male surrounded by a harem of people. And I say harem of people because it's not always women. It's a mixture of different peoples that kind of come together. This space is, if you were going on a job on the original work, this would be a place that you would avoid. It's that kind of spot. As you sit down. So, insemination horses.
Yeah. Well, we have this amazing mare. And you know how it is. Obviously, it'd be great to have your horse meet our mare.
Yes.
And like come together.
You've got lovely hands, you know.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Would you like a drink?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. You know, obviously it's a kind of obviously it's not business. Obviously it's a very pleasurable meeting, but I'm happy to get these unless you want to put them on your tab. I guess.
Don't pop them on my. I mean, I don't even have a tab. I don't think I do. He sort of looks off into the sort of the distance and sort of comes back. Sorry, I'm a very busy person. I've got so many different things on. You know, I'm an editor of newspaper. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
I have the biggest cup in the office.
You have the biggest cup in the office?
Oh, yeah. It's a small game we play, you know, where, like, the cup is sort of a representation of, like, how good you are at your job, you see. And I've got the biggest cup and the biggest office. And the biggest pen. I have this huge pen. It's about this big. And it's just like, I use it to sign things all the time. Like a contract. We were talking about contracts earlier.
Yeah, we can, we can leave that for a minute.
Sorry, and he kind of like pulls over and pulls out like a bag that's inside his one of his cloak, and sort of jumps it down. And he's sort of like so uncomfortable, you know, these keys and things. Sort of like pulls them out, pops them on the table. So your mare and my stud.
Yes. Well, speaking of cups, obviously if they like each other and it all happens naturally, that'd be amazing. But we've got really large cups for samples that big pens go in.
Pens
and then, we create the stories of the next generation of life, like in a,
newspaper. Yeah, like my newspaper. Did I tell you I'm an editor of a newspaper?
Yeah, you said. And I've heard about, you were telling me about, that awkward kind of joke that's, that strange story that's going on at the minute. Yeah.
They killed the burglar. No.
The burglar, yeah.
The burglar, yeah. The viper.
Yeah. Is that still...
The black viper. It's something that we're throwing ham around about, yes. It's sort of... I think that it's something we've got a few theories. It's
really?
Not... I mean, yeah.
Oh, I've heard a theory.
Please do tell. Oh, no, that's a different story.
Oh.
But I
So
tell
you were saying...
the devil is an interesting question. I mean, which devil?
I mean, the litany of ones that spring to mind.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm just a farm girl, so I don't really know about things like that. But, yeah, I've heard about. Thought the Black Viper was like a burglar, and then there was like devil worshipping, and then there was parties. You know, like.
Oh yes, I have heard about the devil worshipping parties. It's a great headline, though, isn't it? Devil worshipping parties, and the Black Viper enters. It's a really interesting. Maybe we could throw some ham at that, and like really kind of put together those stories. But it's an interesting you bring up devil worshipping. Are you a devil worshipper?
It's not something I really think about during the day.
Yeah, sort of tell everyone about. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that's obviously this is quite an open plan place, and we're talking about like cups and big pens and horses.
Oh, thank you very much. And these two like crystal, like massive glasses come over with a huge shot of whiskey in them.
Well, bottoms up.
No, I like to sip, to be honest.
Oh, of course. Me too.
So yeah, what do you know about devil worshippers?
I will just the statues and the wasn't there a situation in a warehouse?
Oh yes, I did hear about this. There's a statue in a warehouse of a devil, but it was owned by a noble. Would you believe that? I know, right?
But you're a noble as well.
Oh no, I'm not a noble.
Oh,
they're not connected by that sort of blood. No. Self-made man, me.
Just like your horse, the other stud.
Exactly, yeah.
And Asmodeus? The other male stud that we have.
Oh, it's called Oh, that's an interesting name. I don't think I've ever heard that name before.
I mean, that's obviously just between friends. And like we joke that he has like his insemination is like.
And he sort of see this bead of sweat sort of like go down his yes. It's an interesting. I mean, it's a little coincidence actually. No, that's silly. Bottoms up. It sort of like downs the whiskey.
And Oshi throws it behind her.
Yes, I mean,
that's good.
It's good. It's good stuff, though, isn't it? It's really good stuff.
Yeah. So you were saying it's a funny coincidence.
Yes, I'm just gonna get. Can I have another drink? Would you like another drink as well?
Oh yes, thank you so much.
Okay, so we sort of like see the drinks sort of start coming over, and they sort of like those drinks sort of like disappearing and coming back and disappearing and sort of coming back and disappearing, and it's like. Amadeus, yeah, he gives us many gifts, you know.
Yes, us too.
I mean, does this kind of like, you know, yeah?
Oh yes, the great
Asmodeus, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he just wants more of us, more souls, you know? More like people like me and you know, we are too good for him. You know, we don't need our souls. It's what's the word?
Poor people? No,
poor children. Yes. It's that kind of like, movement that are really interested, and then we gain power.
Yeah, we me and you and
the devil makes three. Oh. I wonder if my horse is okay. He sort of tries to turn a little bit and sort of slides off the chair and kind of gets back up. And, we drunk quite a lot so far.
Yes, we have. Would you like me to help you to your horse?
It's not dignified for a lady to help a gentleman to his horse.
I mean, could you help me to your horse?
So, will you be at the next meeting?
Where's your horse? On the meeting of when?
It's in the usual place. I mean, they're all there.
Yes, and in the
Castellantas, yeah. They're always leading it, aren't they?
On the third day of
the third day is the Ascension Festival. Yes.
Yeah, Tuesday. One day. The Ascension.
So they're having a party.
Yes, I've got the invite.
Have you got an invitation?
No, not me.
No.
Not me.
Not you. Oh, that's a shame. I've got one.
Yeah. My father got one, and he said, Prunella Jr., because that's what he calls me.
You can't go to the party because you're too young to go to the party.
No, I'm 19, so I'm obviously old enough now.
Oh, you're 19?
Yes. I am.
I see.
And you're only 20.
57. Yes. 27. Yes. Yes. Do you have to get something to eat, or are you busy? I mean, I hope you're not busy.
I'm here with you. My father said, go and spend time with Mr. Barkskin. We need the insemination of the studs.
I just need to go to the lavatory for all that.
I will. I can wait here.
You watch my drinks. It's a naughty drink.
No, yes, because you said bad words into it.
He jumps up and down and he's and he sort of gets up and sort of falls over his chair and stumbles his way around and manages to kind of go off. You're left at the table on your own.
Oshi's going to take out the yellow poison, which is called
Frog's Kiss.
Frog's Kiss. First of all, she's gonna like under the table dab a little bit just to see.
Tastes like lemon sherbet.
Wait. She's gonna put
all of it.
Look what happened last time. No, she's gonna put because she's thinking back in her head. Obviously, she hasn't actually been drinking any of the drinks. So there must be. I'm assuming there's a plant next to her where she's been throwing the whiskies.
Yeah, this poor plant is it's like completely wilted away.
Yeah. She's gonna put. Is it like is the top like a vinegar? You know. There's a pepper.
No, it's up to you. Do you want it as a pipette or do you want it as a vinegar pourer?
Just as I was thinking like a vinegar pourer, with the glass things in the top where it just lets out. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's one of those.
So she's just going to quickly put Glugs in hers, in the one in front of her, and then sit.
All right, so you're just doing your one. You're not doing theirs.
No.
Really nice. And he sort of comes back, and he's got his shirt is sticking out of his zipper. Sort of stumbles back, smacks into a globe of drinks, and then says, "Daddy, sorry. What were we talking about again? Oh, the party. Yes, the party.
Yes, the party. Are you having a party tonight?
I can have a party tonight.
Who would you invite, though?
You and your friend that's next to you.
She's beautiful, isn't she? I always think, I wish I was like her.
Don't cry. Why are you crying?
I think I need this drink. Right, bottoms up. But do you know? I need to tell you a secret. Do you know what they do? Do you know what they do in some of the rough places I have to go to with the farmers who work on stone?
The poor farmers. The
poor
farmers.
The poor people. Yep, they swap drinks.
Oh, that's exotic.
I know. And they say, just in case something bad happens. You know, like in case. Sometimes they put their penises in it.
Or poison or something. You know, I just don't.
Penis.
Penises. Oh, the penises. That's pretty exotic. Okay. And he sort of like grabs hold of your glass and like pushes his glass towards you.
And this one she drinks.
Takes a swig, pops it down. Oh, lemon sherbet.
Oh.
And his eyes kind of open. I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, and then Oshi picks up the glasses and says, sorry, I fell down, and pretends she's a waitress.
And he sort of, did you get up and sort of walk away? As you walk away, you can hear him go, excuse me, where the fuck am I? And who are you? It sort of like starts becoming extremely confused about who he is and where he is. And people are going, you're Jeremy Barkskin. Jeremy who? And it becomes incredibly... And then he looks down at his clothes. It's like, who would wear clothes like this? And he starts taking his clothes off as he begins to kind of... I think what you see is him losing his memory and his identity. As he sort of ends up crumpling in the ground in tears as you pop those glasses onto the bar top. Take the tips off the side and walk out of the twat house onto the street.
And can she ride the horse back to the
man? You're going to steal his horse as well. Yeah, this is one of the fastest horses.
He doesn't know he's got it. It's not
exactly. This is one of the fastest horses you've ever got onto. Have you ever ridden a horse? Has Oshi ever ridden a horse?
Nah, I don't reckon so. I reckon she's just hanging on.
Just hanging on, screaming.
Yeah. Maybe she has when she was really little, before she went to that family, aren't they? Them lot.
Yeah.
The
So I think you have when you were a lot younger, ponies and whatnot.
Yeah, but not for like 15 years. So she's still fucking hanging on.
Yeah, this is mad. Maserati, very, very good. And it's got like it does look like a 3-pronged thing on the side as you sort of like sprint off. Where are you going? Are you going back to Troll Skull, or are you going somewhere else?
Yeah.
All right, cool. As you head off towards Troll Skull, like the traffic ain't stopping you. There's so many people that are stopping, like looking at it, like wow, as it goes past, and you know the usual sound you get from like a Ferrari that's sort of going past. That's Oshi screaming and laughing as it kind of goes past. As you kind of like the whole sort of skids and like slides, and almost as like a bit like a handbrake turn, and sort of parks outside of Troll Skull Alley. It's about, I would say, maybe 11:30 towards midnight. Is there lights downstairs still on, guys? Or are all the lights upstairs on?
The Phatts bathroom window light is on, and you can hear a faint coming from it.
What about the other windows? Anybody else's windows on, or is the downstairs on?
I feel like
I'd say everything.
The kitchen light is on, so I think Baggy's in there, just waiting.
Yeah, so that's the downstairs, and then to the right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've kind of got that situation. We've got one on the second floor, and then one on the ground floor. That's kind of fun.
She doesn't know what to do with the horse, so she's going to try and get it to come in the house. She doesn't want anyone else to see it, but she thinks it's fucking cool.
The horse looks at you.
Down so badly.
The horse looks at you like this.
And I'm assuming it just doesn't move.
No, it does what you say.
Oh,
It's extremely well-trained horse. But it can get his head in the door, but I don't think it can get his body in the door.
Oh my god.
do we have a garden? I suppose we don't, do we?
Stables. Surely we've got a little.
Yeah,
something.
yeah, we can say you got stables. I think the stables, you guys have not even touched the stables, so it's more like a shed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like dodgy lawnmowers in there.
Yeah,
Like-
there's no hay. There's hardly somewhere to tie it up with, but there is like a dodgy shed.
Like an old plastic paddling pool from 6 years ago.
Yeah.
She'll put the horse in there then.
So he's not tied up. The horse goes.
Sorry. Not much better in there. Sorry.
Such a camp horse. I love it.
So good.
And then off she goes inside.
So you kind of like come through the front door. How do you enter into the front door? Are you sneaking in? Are you barging in? Are you like?
She's like very smug, and also she's had like a big, maybe like a double or a triple. She's just down a double or triple whiskey, so she's got the like, you have a slight buzz of like, fuck yeah, I'm shit hot. Just made 325 gold off my last mission, so
Pretty good. So you kind of like wander in.
saunter in,
And it's like the main area of the bar is very silent, very quiet. It feels very grey blue. The smell of plasterboard and dust sort of fills your nose. But the flood of golden light that comes through from the kitchen sort of catches all of those particles of dust. And you can smell on the air the smell of grease. And you know who's in the kitchen.
She's gonna, as she's walking, shout, "Don't worry, I'm home." Didn't have to stay up for me all night. Sure, you're really tired. And then she walks into the kitchen.
And literally, Evie is what you see is this half-orc sort of sat at the kitchen table, fingertips on the forehead, and about 3 or 4 empty cups of tea in front of them. They look exhausted.
I think as well, like Baggi's got loads of different things around her. Like it all just looks like nonsense. It's got stuff like scribbled from earlier, like fireworks, gunpowder. It's got stuff to do with like her dad, Castellantas, like everything, and it's just like, I don't even know. She's been trying to put stuff together and she can't. And she sees Oshi come in and she's like,
Oh, the ramblings of a madwoman.
Classic you to be coming in so late.
It's only 11:30, Baggi.
But this is how it always is, isn't it? You go off. We never know where you are. And I was annoyed at you for not turning up because I thought you were off doing something else.
You just have to check. Knock on my door, come in the room.
Oh, yeah, because you're always so welcoming when we knock on your door.
Is there a problem here? Pups is fine. You're fine. The dulling silver beast of a boss who thinks they can just take over as they come into this family is obviously fucking fine, thanks to you. And our small apprentice is fine too, so I don't know what the issue is.
The issue. Everything's fine. I mean, I don't know what else you've been up to, but everything is quite clearly not fine with the rest of us. And what exactly we're trying to do here.
What do you need to know, Baggi? When the next meeting is of devil worshippers, because I know. The next time we can get into the Castellantas disguised, I know. Tell me what you need and I'll go and get it. I'll look after you for once.
I wanted to make up with you as soon as you came in, and then you walk in with this weird air and grace about you, as if you're suddenly better than all of us, and you don't have to tell us what you're up to and when you're up to it and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know exactly what's happened or what's changed, but we are actually all meant to be a team. I'm happy to still work with you. Obviously, I want to know all of those things. But can you not say it in such a way that it's like, hee, look at me, this is what I know. We're all working towards the same goal here. So I don't want you to tell me. I want you to tell the rest of us.
I don't want to tell that machine we have living with us. I'm sick of him. Just because he's older than us, he thinks he can be our boss. I don't think so. He's the replacement muscle for the one we lost.
That isn't fair.
On who? Me? Because I've had to deal with him? I know. You? It's not fair on you either. You didn't even get a say in it, Pups. He even got less of a say in it.
And what exactly is your problem with the new muscle? The replacement muscle?
Well, I don't know why his name's on any of the contracts.
Because he helped us?
In what way?
Getting from Black Star to where we are now could have easily just left us. He's helped us along the way the whole time. Yes, he's annoying. Yes, he's sanctimonious. But it's not like any of us don't have our own faults, is it? None of us are perfect.
Some of us are quite close.
Even you. So, you have all of this lovely, delicious information that you just want to gobble up yourself. Do you fancy sharing some of it?
Should we wait till the whole team's here? Baggi, stop being so stressed. Everyone's fine. Everyone's fine. Why don't we go out?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go out.
Keep saying fine.
We never go out anymore, Baggi. Let's go out.
You already smell like you've been out.
I've been out all night, but I've only had one drink. And that is true. You know, I sometimes tell the truth. I'm telling you the truth right now. I just wiped someone's memory. Baggi, let's just fucking go out. Let's go and get Pups up. And let's go out. And we'll leave the babysitter with the baby. Let's just go out.
And at this point, Baggi's just looking at her like, what the fuck are you saying to me? This has nothing to do with anything. She looks down at everything in front of her and she feels this fury coming through, because it's just like, you're not listening to me. You're not taking this seriously. You are taking the piss. And these sparks start flying out of her hands and she casts Firebolt towards the oven. And it literally just flashes. Doesn't go off, don't worry. Gas isn't on. It just goes towards that way. And it comes out and burns like a little hole.
Ugh. What's wrong, Baggi?
What's wrong is that we've all fallen apart because one stupid thing didn't go to plan, because one stupid thing, and I wanted to just be able to forgive you, but I realise now that I can't, because I'm obviously still annoyed about it, so I need a little bit more time. But also, we all have the same goal here. We need to remember what we're actually trying to do here and why. And I'm finding you difficult tonight. How you're being, how you're acting. Sometimes I just wish it could fucking go back to the way that it was. Obviously it isn't ideal that we have big Phatts here being all boom, 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 listen to me all the fucking time. Obviously it isn't ideal for him that I'm like taking all of his stuff that apparently he has loads of problems with, and we never had that. And then with you, like, we've always been fine, and then today it's been freaking annoying me, and I was annoyed with you because you weren't there, if something has happened to Pups, you would feel the way that I feel about the fact that I wasn't there for you guys when Tunk went. And I don't want you to feel that, because it sucks. And I care about you, but I'm finding it really difficult to care about you right now.
Can you roll insight, please, Baggi?
Yes. Whoa, script.
She's not listening to you anyway.
And you don't even care. You don't even care. You literally don't even care. It's just like, here I am sat here waiting for you because I wanted to talk to you and actually make up with you, and then you come in and you stink of booze. I don't know where you've been. You probably fucking killed someone for all I know. You wiped someone's memory apparently, and I don't even know how you fucking did that. Where's that even come from?
This is a very vicious rumour about me killing someone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Based on what? Loads and loads and loads of truth, and obviously loads of times that's obviously happened.
Can you keep your voice down? Also, there's one other thing I didn't tell you, which you're probably going to be annoyed about now, but I might as well tell you now before you find out in the morning. I got a horse, okay? You like animals.
You got a horse. You got a horse?
Do you want to...
No, I don't want to see the horse. We can barely feed ourselves, let alone a frigging horse.
What do they even eat?
You need to remind yourself of who you actually are, because right now I'm not seeing it. I can't talk to you about this anymore.
As that chair like scrapes backwards as Baggi stands up.
I will talk to you about this in the morning. If you're here in the morning.
What do you mean who I actually am?
Do you even care about what I mean when I say that?
And in Oshi's head, she's like, shit, am I an assassin in the Assassin's Guild? Am I part of this family, or am I part of my, like, birth family? That's what's going on in her head. Yeah, I care.
I mean the Oshi that would sneak and do all those things, but still always be there for us, for the group. The Oshi that would go and do something, go and steal food from the canteen and then come back and share it with the rest of us. The Oshi that would go and fucking pinch a braid from that stupid adventurer, that weird little clip, and bring it to me and give it to me as if it was meant to be something amazing at the time. I didn't realise it was anything good. until you explained what it was and put it in my hair. That's the Oshi that I meant, not this. You just look different. The way that you're looking at me tonight and this morning is different. That's all. Anyway. I hate this. But I don't hate you. And she turns to leave and goes upstairs.
And Oshi says, "Night, Baggi."
She stops for a brief moment and then just walks off, and like a little single tear, I think, falls down her cheek.
As we see Oshi go over to the cool box. What are they singing? Like, what are they humming? As they sort of start making a sandwich for themselves.
Who, Oshi? Something along the lines of, "I don't care. I like gold." Really quietly, really quiet. Because in Oshi's mind, she's like, "Oh, the thing we're all working for, the hundreds and thousands of gold pieces." That's she's been totally clouded by that now.
So bread comes down onto the plate. As you sort of see her like placing the butter onto the thing and like getting the jam out and the peanut butter, and sort of like sits down, brushes aside all of the notes, sits down, as we just see them bite in as we fade to black.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, she's so mean.
That was so good.
Really lovely work. Oh my God.
Lean all the way in. Fair fucking play to you both.
Yeah, that was great. It was so good. And I could see it in your face as well, Gabby. I'm just like, she's not listening. Like, she's not listening to any of this. Like,
You don't care.
She was thinking about the horse.
She's changed.
That song was pretty bad though.
Right, she's great.
It was really lovely as well to see like Gabby's resistance fight Oshi's instincts, but Oshi's instincts winning. Like, and fair play to you for having that resistance of going, I'm gonna go there. Like, mad respect for that.
It makes sense. It's like when you have a friend go away to uni and then you meet up with them and then all of a sudden they're different and you're like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I like her or not.
But so good. I think we've just got to say Daz just said on there, Mama Thorpe said on there, Stuart said on there, just how much they miss our style of role play, and I'm really glad that I could be a part of those scenes and watch it from where we are, to sort of seeing mine and Rob's and Dad's face going,
I know, yeah. Jesus Christ.
So something that I want to kind of add in here is we've already started it, but I thought it'd be really nice to do it anyway. Is it just to talk about like each of your favorite moments of each other today, because we had quite a lot of big things, and also on the chat as well if you had any favorite moments from this evening. I think we probably start with Gabby, and it's also, you can absolutely point out people that you really enjoyed their work today and really enjoyed their role playing.
I loved the chase scene because I loved how all three of you worked so well together. Like, that was just like pure class improv. that bit and how you all three of you were like this triangle of like taking it on everything that was coming. And when Big Phatts said he hated the Yuan-Ti because it was such like a mic drop moment, and you could almost like if you're in the kitchen you'd be like you know, with the hairs on the back of your neck, like, oh, this is so cringe. So it was amazing, making me feel things all over, babes.
So we'll move over to Rob. Rob, sort of, what was your kind of favourite moments from today?
So favourite moments from today. I think I've got one for all of you. For Pups, it was saying to Phatts that when you're finished sulking, can we let's head back. For Baggi, it was easily that whole kitchen scene. And I would say Gabs as well for that. However, I really, really enjoyed Oshi being uncool in the Assassin's Guild. Joe, despite feeling so cringed and I hated Barkskin, I thought that you did such a good job.
Oh my God.
That was when you opened with insemination.
God, I hate it so much.
Top quality entertainment.
It was so good.
Oh, thank you. That's great. Dan, what was your favourite bits?
Yeah, I really enjoyed, like, I sort of think back to like right at the very start of Dragon Heist, where we all came in really hot on one of the days, and it was when we were like talking to Volo or something like that. But there was a real like, it was like hot, but it wasn't together. It was like it was like everyone came in super hot, but everyone came in super hot in service of the story, and the commitment to not being likable or not being afraid to be unlikable. Joe, I nearly vomited up my toenails when you were like, "Oh, you're 19."
Perfect.
So
57.
perfect. So perfect. Rob chucking out that I hate the Yuan-Ti. Like, Gabs, I could watch you make NPCs uncomfortable with your aggressive flirting all fucking day. And just that scene between you and Evie at the end, some of the beautiful lines that came out of it, and some of the back and forth, and the commitment to both of your points of view in staying in that fight. It was just, I had so many ideas. Of like, oh, here's a little caveat that we could put into that. But I was like, I cannot like break this moment for anything. And I'm so glad that that's where it finished.
Absolutely. And Evie.
Oh my God, so many things. Okay, Joe's bark skin is just brilliant. I know he was gross, and I know it's been mentioned, but you can't not. I think actually that whole scene between Barkskin and Oshi was just fantastic. It was also really, really, really good drunk acting. I know Oshi wasn't drunk when she was drunk. Like, that's another layer. I was like double layering that. It was just a joy to watch because he was so disgusting. But yeah, hilarious as well. I actually really liked Dan, your clarity at the beginning when you sort of came round and you had that moment of like, well, I'm still here. That then went into that sheer exhaustion, and I really liked that sort of that journey for Pups as well, like going from that sort of but I'm here, and then like combating it, and then having to be like completely exhausted as well throughout was also really nice. And yeah, we've mentioned it before, but Big Phatts' mic drop of I hate that Yuan-Ti, it was like, that's a really big moment. That's a big statement to make in this group. And it makes perfect sense. And I think like Dan was saying, about not being likable, but that was a real like shift in gear, which I massively appreciated. And then I think Gabs, like the journey for Oshi in this was incredible, because you like we said, you went into the Assassin's Guild and you felt really uncomfortable. It's like seeing those layers to Oshi. There were so many today. And how at the beginning when she felt uncomfortable, well, also just being there and then being like, fuck you, then feeling really uncomfortable, then getting focused into the job, and then feeling all of that amazing like power. It was such an arc in like couple of hours of role play. So yeah, it was sick. It was really good. It's great, joyful.
And quite rightfully pointed out in the chat, all of that stuff was so fresh in the mind and so great. No one mentioned Rob's insanely good recap.
Yeah, the chat.
Memory.
The chat is all
sick.
like the Rob song, God, the recap, everything's there. I think the chat's come up with Stuart, Joe causing the entire stream to curl up inside themselves with the word 19.
19.
Mama Thorpe, Rob's intro song, Barkskin, Baggi when she was so cross and so hurt, bless her. And Pups' face with Barkskin was amazing.
He bit my shirt in half.
Big Phatts, I may or may not have cut up a dozen bodies, which I thought was really great. Yeah.
I got moment as well.
When you were like, when we went, how happened to you? Well,
I mean, for me today, like I have mass respect for all of you. My favorite line was from Oshi in that last one, which was, "He's just the replacement muscle."
Oh, fucking hell!
That was a hell of a line.
I think Stuart said at the time, he just went brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, on a personal note, Gabby, for that scene with Barkskin, I had a lot of fun with that, and it was horrific and disgusting. I think Pups and Dan trying to do the running, trying to do that chase scene, and really accepting all of that disadvantage, and really accepting the failures and all of that. And trying to piece together on your way or back to Trollskull Alley and going, I want to try and piece together all the story stuff. Rolling the double one and going, all right, cool, it's gone. And actually, I have a huge amount of respect for you, Dan, for just going, cool, my character doesn't know. And having to hold back as a player and not be able to do that. Generally speaking, like Big Phatts today was on edge throughout. And I felt like from the montage onwards of having the rage therapy session, it felt as if maybe he has got a problem, and I really enjoyed seeing that develop and unveil itself. It's also the first time you haven't really referenced Little Ricks, which I found interesting. And then finally, of course, two things: Baggies, drop the tea bag in, turn around, you can't fucking say you hate her. And then at the end, I'm sat at my seat going, are you going to tell her that you hate her? Because that's what I feel like is coming out. Do you know what I mean? And again, I really enjoyed that bit, that bookmark of those two parts. And yeah, I just want to say mass respect, mass love for all of you. I'm so glad that we're back.
Yeah.
Can I also just drop in something? It's slightly unrelated to the story today, but definitely related to the stream. That the voiceover job that I had to do the other day, I've never been in a recording studio before or recording booth, and was shitting myself going into it, having just had the festival the day before, and my voice wasn't fully back again. And there was no one in there. I did the whole thing to a set-up laptop screen, and there was a microphone in front of me. And I did to give myself some credit, which I don't do often, but I did a really good job. And I realized afterwards that it was because of this exact stream that I felt so comfortable, because it was almost the exact same setup. That it was people on a screen with a microphone in front of me, having fun and doing like a silly voice for the entire thing. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for this mad journey that we've been on over the last year, having climbed to a solid viewership of people that we adore and love, who come back and continue to watch us. So thank you to people that do watch us, and thank you to the four of you for this being a very strange and joyous journey as we navigate our imaginations.
So beautiful.
Big love.
Oh, mate. Love you.
Yeah.
Love you. So we're going to finish it early today.
Wait, hang on. Joseph.
Yes.
Wait.
What have I done?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So, Joe, it's really hard to surprise you visually because you hold all the visual keys. However, we have found a way to do so because we talked a lot about Oshi's character art today, and we know we've got big Phatts on the way, but we are very much missing someone from that team. And I discovered, whilst we were doing all these guest shows, that the lovely Rowan Douglas draws character art. And it's taken fucking ages to get us all back together. But are we all ready, peeps?
I think so.
We're ready.
All right, let's all move out the way. Have a little look on screen, Joe.
He's got a lollipop.
Little Rex.
Little Rex.
Little Rex.
Oh, it's so good. I have no idea how you managed to do it like that. That's so good.
I was like, how do I do? Do I send him something and say, just don't look at it? No, that's not going to work. Like, do I show it up? No, it'll disappear. Like whenever we try and put a beer up to our face or dice. So I was like, you know what? Let's put it in all as the little background. And that is a gift from us to you.
Oh, I love you guys. It's so pretty. It's little Ricks. Oh, my little eyes are going. I'm gonna have to put little Ricks next to my screen then, aren't I?
Yeah.
For sure. For surezies. Oh, that makes me so happy. And I love you guys. And I love Rowan. Thank you, Rowan, for doing that as well.
I did ask Rowan if they wanted to be like, because obviously they had it ready whilst we were doing Arcane Ward, and I was like, do you want to be on stream whilst we show it to Joe? And she was like, no. no, I do not want this. So I told them that we were going to post it today. They're DMing right now, actually. So possibly they might get a chance to watch at the end. But if you are watching this, Rowan, thank you so much for jumping on this like so quickly, so wholeheartedly, and capturing little Ricks in his lollipop loving dagger behind the back. So awesome.
I just noticed the dagger. That's great. You do not have to wait long for us to return for Waterdeep Mallrats Dragon Heist episode 20, I think, or 21, probably 20.
20.
So that's it. It's now longer than Black Star Lane.
20.
So come and see us on Monday. We are back on Mondays. Yes, Mondays. So come on up and see us on Monday. Those of you who are the big fam, I love you guys so much, and thank you for coming and joining us once again. Mama Thorpe, I'll see you tomorrow. So that's going to be really lovely. For everyone who's enjoyed it and come back and so on the lurking, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you enjoyed it. Did you give us a quick follow? If not, classic really, isn't it? Always keep continuing those heists. Destroy your homes and steal what you can from your landlords, because they've been screwing you over for 7 years, let's be honest. And other than that, big love, and I'll see you guys very soon. All right, bye.
Bye.